Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to talk today about the Compass Games Expo 2019, held November 8th through the 11th over Veterans Day weekend in Cromwell, Connecticut. The event itself, I'm told, is run like the Consum World Expo, although it is noticeably smaller. I wouldn't know since I've never been to Consum World Expo, but I have no reason to doubt that characterization. Generally, I felt like the event was very well run. There were a number of previews of upcoming games from Compass Games, including Napoleon's Eagles, Storm in the East from designer Christopher Moeller. This is a card game that covers two big Napoleonic battles, Borodino and Leipzig, and two smaller battles, Shevardino and Lieber Volkowitz. Also available for preview was Dawn of Empire from designer Steven Newberg. This is about the Spanish-American War at Sea. Brotherhood and Unity, about the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina from 1992 to 1995 from designer Tomislav Šipčík, which I am almost certainly mispronouncing. World War II Commander Volume 1 Battle of the Bulge by designer John Butterfield. And the new edition of the classic Victory Games title France 1944 from designer Mark Herman. Compass had display copies of all these titles out, and although I did not play any of them, they all look very nice, and the physical component quality is quite high. Now, you may assume at first that the focus of Compass Games Expo is exclusively on Compass Games titles, and while there are a lot of Compass Games titles being played there were nevertheless a lot of titles from a variety of other companies. From Compass, we saw a ton of Interceptor Ace and Pacific Tide being demoed by designer Gregory M. Smith. Gregory M. Smith also had some playtest materials for his Western Front Ace, which is a similar solitaire system, except this time it is World War I dogfights. There were multiple large CSS titles, that is the company scale system from designer Adam Starkweather, and I didn't talk to him, but I'm pretty sure he was there demoing that system. From GMT, we saw games like Stalingrad 42, multiple games of US Civil War on the table, and a marathon 10 or 12 hour game of Here I Stand. There was a playtest, and I take this to be a quite late playtest, of Jaws of Victory from New England Simulations. That is their game about the Coruscant Pocket, and it is available for pre-order now on their website. There was at least one decent-sized game from Multi-Man Publishing. That was Panzer Battles. That is part of the Standard Combat series, and I actually played a turn of that myself. From Hexasim, we had a big combination game of Ligny and Quatre Bras from the Eagles of France series, and that was well enjoyed by the participants. We had a few classics from Avalon Hill and SPI, including the classic Panzergruppe Guderian, and there were some non-war games played as well, including Firefly and the new Gale Force 9 edition of Dune. There were quite a few designers at Compass Games Expo, and a number of playtests. Of interest is one game called 1812, about the War of 1812. I did speak to the designer, and I have a video coming on that, so stay tuned for that. We also talked to Kevin McPartland and playtested his new game Maori, Warriors of the Long White Cloud, which is available for pre-order now from Compass Games. And we talked to designer Bill Cooper about his game Beneath the Southern Cross, which he describes as flat top on steroids. That characterization certainly seems accurate to me. It looked pretty complicated, even by my standards. Now, of course, I did pick up a substantial amount of loot at the Compass Games Expo. There will be a separate video for that, so please stay tuned. And the one other big thing that I want to talk about is the hotel. Compass Games Expo was held at the Red Lion Hotel in Cromwell, Connecticut. The experience there was, shall we say, not amazing. It is an old hotel. It is a relatively run-down hotel. There were a number of things there that were not operational, including the pool, which was a participant in a runaway algae growth experiment and was therefore closed. There is a restaurant in the hotel. The food there was passable, but 2 of the 4 days that I stayed there was no coffee at breakfast, and the lobby cuts off the coffee at 11 a.m. No caffeine does not mix well with gaming. There is, however, other food and a Walmart within a relatively easy drive of a couple of minutes. The rooms themselves were reasonably clean. They have a fridge, but no microwave unless you would like to pay an extra $30 a night. And the hotel staff was friendly and efficient, and they did manage to fix any of the many things that got wrong relatively efficiently. I do think that for the price, which, depending on whether you're at single or double occupancy of $121 to $138 a night, plus hotel tax, I thought that the hotel was not a great deal. There are other hotel options as close as directly across the street. Despite my issues with the hotel, I had a great time at the Compass Games Expo. I would certainly love to go back next year. That will depend on my ability to get the time off for it, and frankly on my willingness to drive anywhere between 9 and 12 and a half hours. The 12 and a half hours in the car on the way on Monday, with delays from East Coast traffic and Midwest weather, was pretty brutal. And I think flying is something I would consider if I could find a reasonable airfare. Once again, though, great time at Compass Expo. I want to thank the folks at Compass Games for putting it on, especially John Kranz, who I got to meet, and who we've all seen many, many times at this point on their video casts. The show itself was extremely well run, and I would be happy to return in the future. Stay tuned, we have more video coverage from the Compass Games Expo coming, and a bevy of unboxing videos. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it around. That helps any content creator. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you next time.